Hello everyone, I'm Logan Ferry and welcome to the Game of Nerds. This week we're talking about a character that's gone through quite a lot. Since 2009 and the premiere of X-Men Origins Wolverine, fans have been clamoring for a Deadpool done right. There's been rumors of this film happening every year since. Yada yada yada, facts. And here we are in 2016 after script and test footage leaks with a movie a lot of us never thought could be made in theaters for you to go watch right now. Like, go right now. Pause this, go to your local cinema, watch the movie, come back here, watch this. Go see it as soon as possible. Just a warning, I will get into some slight spoilers throughout this review. Nothing too specific, but just throwing the warning out there so I don't get in trouble. Alright, with that out of the way, let's talk about Deadpool. I'm gonna be honest, I did go into this movie with some hesitation. Deadpool over the years in the comics has become kind of a caricature of himself. He's become more of the crazy, what's he gonna do next character for these authors to put into different situations. And honestly, too much of Deadpool is exactly that for me. Too much. There's a limit on how much Deadpool I can take, and that was the biggest concern I had going in. Was this going to be too much? And I'm happy to say it was just the right amount. Deadpool really pulled it off. And I really give credit to 4 people on how it played out. First time major motion picture director Tim Miller, writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who previously wrote Zombieland, and Ryan Reynolds, who really spearheaded the whole project. Speaking of Ryan, his good friends call him Ryan. Never met the guy, just making an assumption. Ryan may have been born to play this role. I personally can't think of another actor who could do justice to this character. And no matter how many times he tries to play a superhero, I think he finally pulled one off. In fact, the characterization of all the characters is pretty much spot on. Even though each character has its stereotype that they fulfill in the film, that's the way it's meant to be. The cliche story with the wrench named Wade thrown in. This movie's pretty generic with the exception of Deadpool, but that's the point. Deadpool has to be the odd man out. He has to not fit in, and he doesn't. That's what makes this movie good. Okay, let's get more specific, starting with costumes. The costumes in this movie are great. One of the things that can really take you out of a superhero movie are the costumes. Fans want a comic accurate costume, but when you get too accurate, it seems a bit silly. Take Adam West's Batman or Spawn. It's all a bit ridiculous. When designing the costume, you have to find the balance between accurate and realistic, like Captain America or Thor. And Deadpool does just that. In fact, it may be the best comic book costume we've ever seen. It's accurate, practical, and realistic. It's not something the audience questions, which is exactly the way it should be. And all the other costumes are great as well. I'm not just focusing on Deadpool's costume here. Nothing stands out, and that's amazing. Everything is in universe and it fits. Now, this movie had a small budget, like minuscule compared to other movies in the genre. Here, let me give you an example. The last movie in this universe, X-Men Days of Future Past, no, Fantastic Four does not count, cost $200 million to make, while Deadpool was made with a budget of $58 million. That's a small budget. And that small budget, in turn, made the story feel small, which was surprisingly refreshing. It was something we honestly haven't seen for a while, and with our recent Avengers and X-Men's and Leagues of Justices, it was done so well. Let me compare a bit more. Deadpool, as we know, was made for $58 million. Fox's last venture into superheroes, more than twice the budget with $120 million. It's exactly what I was saying before. The right people made this at the right time, and that's what made it what it is. It could have been horrible. And like I said, Ryan Reynolds really spearheads this whole thing. It's kind of shocking that when Wade mentions Ryan Reynolds in a joke, it takes a couple of seconds for you to remember that he's telling a joke about himself. When he's on screen, he is Deadpool. And that takes us into the comedy of the film, because you can't have Deadpool without some laughs. And sure, deep down this is more of a love story than anything else, which was surprising but welcome and done really well. But it packs a punch with the jokes. Deadpool is exactly how you would imagine him being, fourth wall breaking and all. And I mentioned before the small issues I have with the character, but I really didn't have an issue with his portrayal here. Sure, by the end it was towing the line a bit, 20 more minutes and it would have been way too much for me, but It was as close to perfect as you can get, in my opinion. I did have some problems with the comedy though, not necessarily the material, but more who was telling the jokes. The thing about Deadpool is that he needs to be surrounded by people who don't get or don't want to get the joke. That's why in the comics he pairs so perfectly with characters like Wolverine or Cable. Really, the biggest issue I have is that too many people were too funny, which may sound ridiculous, but the joke of Deadpool is that he's the merc with the mouth. In this, it just felt like everyone was waiting to get a quip out. The only other thing I feel like I should mention is the CGI. Colossus was amazing. You can tell they spent time and money to get him right. What they didn't spend so much time or money on was CG Deadpool. He felt too rubbery at times, and there was a couple points where it really took me out of the movie. Particularly during the last action sequence when he's, hanging on. It looked like a really good cutscene from a video game. By the way, check out the Deadpool game. It's really awesome. You can read Charlie's review on the website. Back on topic, if they had a slightly higher budget, I wouldn't have this problem, which is not too fair for me to judge the movie by. They couldn't do much, but if it's on the screen and it doesn't look good, doesn't look good. So overall, I had a few small problems with this movie, but the biggest takeaway is how much fun it is and how much fun you have watching it. I recommend grabbing your nerdy friends to sit down and laugh along with this movie together. I'm giving Deadpool 4 out of 5 Voltron rings. Oh, and I asked some of the writers at the Game of Nerds what they thought about the movie, and here's what they had to say. So, what did you think? Was I too rough on the film, or did I not beat it down enough? Let me know in the comments down below. Also down below, let me know what you want me to talk about next. It could be anything. Reviews, movies, movie news, literally anything. As always, check us out at thegameofnerds.com and follow us at The Game of Nerds on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. I'm Logan Ferry. Thanks for watching.